Despite apparently avoiding criminal prosecution for now, disgusting Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz is under House ethics investigation for allegations of trafficking underage girls for sex. This is back. Now, let me tell you what's going on, and then I will kind of clarify what is the difference between this and the investigation that is apparently going nowhere. The Daily Beast reports House ethics probe into Matt Gaetz zeroes in on sex trafficking. We now know the ethics committee is firmly looking at the allegations that Matt Gaetz paid an underage teen for sex when he was twice her age. This is extraordinarily serious. Contrast this with vague, unsubstantiated allegations of the criminal, what would you call it? The criminal career of Joe Biden. This is actually very serious. Investigators are zeroing in on the sex trafficking allegations against him, according to sources telling the Daily Beast. Staffers on the ethics committee have been reaching out to alleged witnesses to potential sex crimes, according to two sources familiar with the ethics probe. One difference between this and the Biden stuff is there are witnesses here. The panel has also been trying to obtain records from the DOJ about its investigation into Gaetz. Recall that prosecutors announced they decided against charging Gaetz in February 2023. That followed a 30-month investigation into allegations that he paid a minor to have sex with him who was half his age in 2017. Just before publication of this Daily Beast report, CNN reported that the ethics committee reached out to the woman Gaetz allegedly had sex with when she was underage. The ethics panel made contact, requested meetings with witnesses. Sources would not confirm whether any of these interviews have already occurred. So I know that many of you have been following this, and every once in a while I'll get an email, David, what happened? What went on with Gaetz? It seemed like they really had him dead to rights. The critical question here is, why did the previous criminal investigation go away? Everything we know right now is that the criminal investigation undertaken by the Department of Justice ran into a problem. And the problem was that the self-proclaimed witnesses against Gaetz did not want to go forward and provide testimony. And without their testimony, there was essentially no way that prosecutions brought forward would be successful. And if they had gone forward with that prosecution and failed to secure a guilty plea or a guilty verdict, then unless there was dramatic new evidence, material new evidence, they wouldn't have been able to try Matt Gaetz again. So that explains why the criminal investigation was sidetracked. This is a very different situation. This is an ethics investigation by the House Ethics Committee. This has a completely different character and tone and makeup than a criminal investigation. The best possible outcome, and of course, remember, I'm for due process and law and order. Everything I'm saying here is depending on what the investigation finds. But if this investigation were to find that indeed Matt Gaetz was involved in the trafficking for sex of an underage girl, or multiple girls, we don't know, what we would hope for is that he'd be found in breach of House ethics and that he would then be expelled from the House of Representatives. If that were to happen, there would be the potential for, if Florida elects a Democratic governor, I don't know, to appoint a replacement or something. It starts to get a little dicey. But the end point here, if indeed the victims participate, would be that this leads to Gaetz being expelled. I think there are Republicans in the House who are furious with Gaetz for the entire Kevin McCarthy fiasco. It seems as though there are Republicans in the House that are furious with Matt Gaetz for what he pulled with Kevin McCarthy. And if that's the case, you actually may be able to get the guy expelled. But we're putting the cart before the horse. The criminal investigation did not go towards charges. We have an ethics investigation. We have what is alleged to be very credible evidence against Gaetz. The question is, will those witnesses come forward and testify? So it's back. It's been years, I know, and I understand being skeptical that this will lead to anything, but confirmation that he is back under investigation in the House. We'll follow it. We'll take a quick break. After this break, Joe Biden's brutally aggressive speech in front of the United Auto Workers Union, who have endorsed Biden over Trump. I'll tell you why, although it should be pretty obvious after this short break. When you log into your Google or Facebook account, these companies have your IP address, which is valuable to them because when you do all of your other browsing online, almost every site on the web is sending your IP address and browsing activity back to those big tech companies so they know what you do across the internet. The only solution is to hide your IP address while you're online using a VPN. I use private internet access, the only VPN that is proven multiple times in court. They do not log your activity. Private internet access is optimized for streaming and for large downloads. You can access content on streaming platforms like Netflix that's normally only available in other countries. Private internet access now has 91 country servers to pick from and new dedicated IP locations. It also comes with their built-in ad and malware blocker called Mace, which blocks virtually all pop-ups. Private internet access is giving my audience 83% off, comes out to $203 a month, plus 4 extra months for free. Go to piavpn.com/Pacman. The link is down below.